Hi everyone, it is Amelia Johnson at ameliaajohnson.com. Do you value teamwork? And the reason I ask is I had the pleasure of really seeing teamwork in action when I went to a show called Mutts Gone Nuts in Frostburg, Maryland. Now, here's Gusto, and he's very sleepy right now, which is why he's cooperating. But Gusto and I are also building a team. But let me get back to Mutts Gone Nuts and why it is so valuable to have a team. Let me see something here. Give me a moment. There we go. So now I can see who's with me. At any rate, Mutts Gone Nuts is a performing team with actors and dogs that have been rescued from shelters. Oh, you're just so sleepy. And I want to tell you a little bit about their story because it's actually quite interesting. There's about 12 dogs, and the performers were actually, the original performers, were actually into many different types of shows way back when. I'll just give you their first names so you can look them up and find them out. It's Scott and Joan. So they started way back in 1984, and they played variety stages. But it wasn't until 1996, and I don't know why they put black on gray, it's hard to read, that they got their first rescue dog. And he was a little Pomeranian Chihuahua mix named Chico. And they started with positive reinforcement training with him. And they used some of the same trainers that I have learned from. One is Pat Miller. She's written numerous books on positive reinforcement when you're training your dogs. The other is Donaldson, and the other is Karen Pryor. Karen Pryor is one of the first people to actually promote clicker training. So all these dogs have been trained and probably some rehabilitated through positive reinforcement methods. And that's a whole nother topic because I know some people revert back to the training methods they originally taught because they see immediate results. But it's my opinion and the opinion of many others. If you want a true relationship with your dog, you use positive reinforcement methods and then build upon those methods for a great relationship and a happy dog that wants to perform for you. So, more about the story. Mutts Gone Nuts does have about 12 dogs in their performance, but not all at once. Some of them have retired, a couple of them have retired, and they stay at the farm. That's the other thing I like about these people is they don't dispose of their dogs, obviously. They rescued them in the first place. Why would they then dispose of them when their careers are over? That's not the purpose of having the dogs in their lives. So they share these dogs with us, and there's a trainer that joined them in 2014. Her name is Sam, and she has actually been on TV, the David Letterman show, the Steve Harvey show, with some of her tricks that she does with one dog in particular, or two dogs in particular, actually do the double Dutch jumping. And they showed that at this show, Mutts Gone Nuts. It was an hour-long performance. So I'm looking through some of these dogs, and of course they get the Border Collie mixes because Border Collies are obsessed with frisbees, with doing things constantly. They just enjoy working. They're a working breed. So the other breeds they have, a Parson Russell Terrier, did the tightrope walk. That was really cute. Chico, at 14, could still jump through hoops, and he did so for a little boy that was autistic, and that little boy really came to life I mean, he kept giving the signs of victory. And this little boy is not one to show emotion. So that was really sweet to see him really get excited about having Chico jump through a hoop for him. There were other dogs there, the jumping dogs. They had a Greyhound that jumped, I think it was about 5'2" over a high jump onto a mat. And I'm sure just for physical reasons, they didn't go any higher than that. The dog was very willing. And how often do you see a Greyhound jumping high jumps? Not often at all. So that was kind of unique. And what I liked about this and why I titled it Teamwork is because each dog knew an individual trick, but when they put it together and the dogs did their individual trick as a team, that's what made it really sweet. So if a dog could twist or you know, spin, they would all do it at one time. But it was never the dog that was requested to do it. It was the 4 dogs in the background. So it was as though the first dog was disobedient, when in truth that wasn't a cue that dog was given. There were tricks where a dog had learned to be like a hamster in a barrel and make the barrel turn. So that was that dog's individual trick. But then she put another dog on top of the barrel that had learned to sidestep as the barrel was turning. So there's 2 dogs in one trick. And then she added a 3rd dog that would act as though it were pushing the barrel, when in truth it was just going along and hanging on to the barrel because it was the dog in the center that was actually turning the barrel. So that's pretty amazing to have 3 dogs working together as a team, because that could have fallen apart very easily. Hey, sweetie. And it didn't. So the show was very enjoyable. The teamwork was essential. They also had other human actors there to break up the act so that the dogs would get a rest. And it just was such an enjoyable event. If you haven't gone to see Mutts Gone Nuts, definitely check out their YouTube videos. And if you have a chance to actually go to a performance near you, go ahead and do that. And it may inspire you to become more of a team with your dog. So they also have an American Eskimo in training. I was disappointed that he wasn't there. His name is Klaus. And for those of you that aren't familiar with American Eskimos, they actually originated in Germany as a Spitz breed and came here to the United States. And because of our political environment at the time, they were soon named American Eskimos so that people would not discriminate against them for being a German breed. So there again was teamwork. So tell me how you are a team with your dog or your cat. What is it you do to enjoy your life together that you have found your dog really enjoys doing, whether it's competitive sports or hiking or just what it is that you do? Because I'd love to know how your mutt has gone nuts. Talk soon.